In the fragmented markets of 2026, the corporate grid is collapsing. When state power fractures and institutions evaporate, traditional authority is useless. In fact, the very compliance tools designed to manage corporate risk become the primary drivers of your failure. Shan South, Myanmar. 6 months ago, I walked through a natural fertilizer factory in this region. It was a massive commercial success. It was vibrant, scaled, and deeply integrated with local agriculture. By every traditional metric, it was the perfect, stable operation. I recently returned to find a very different reality. That factory is now a silent, charred skeleton. The twisted steel is literally sinking into the red mud. In the months between my visits, military checkpoints thickened. Sovereignty became liquid. The environment shifted overnight from a predictable market to a zone where local militia commanders hold the only real leverage. Armed conflict provided the spark, but corporate vanity ensured the destruction. The leadership assumed their titles, and their formal governance held weight in a place where the state had already died. When the local farmers faced a total market collapse, they needed 4 months of credit just to put seeds in the ground. It wasn't a business negotiation. It was a request for survival. Traditional spreadsheets are not equipped to handle an existential crisis. Back at headquarters, the executive board applied their standard risk assessment models. To protect their short-term image and maintain compliance, they issued a preemptive no to the peasantry. We have seen this exact pathology before in the humanitarian sector. It is the tendency for top-down, paternalistic institutions to ignore the brutal reality on the ground in favor of their own internal mandates. The executives believed their legal paperwork afforded them a form of royalty. They treated the local community as a passive backdrop to their balance sheets. When the state actually fails, centralized best practices shatter. You cannot cite corporate policy to a militia checkpoint. Yet, within this exact same volatile region, there is a paradox. One operator is currently doubling his sales while the heavy corporations face ruin. He uses 0 legal contracts. He has stripped away all corporate titles. He relies entirely on quiet influence. He subordinated his business to the local networks that remain when formal systems die. In this ecosystem, debt is a moral obligation. Your reputation is your only collateral. Breaking a promise means permanent exclusion from the survival safety net. This operator realized that farmers are an incredibly durable investment. A farmer cannot pack up 40 acres of topsoil and flee. Their land is permanent, which forces a long-term commitment to reciprocal community values. Trading the vanity of titles for local integration creates a bond based on shared survival. This bond functions long after legal signatures become unenforceable. Sociologists call this social capital. When currencies fluctuate and governments disappear, systems of trust and reciprocity are the only currencies that allow communities to survive. To operate off-grid, a leader must manage 3 dimensions of this capital. First, bonding capital. This provides the immediate survival net with the local farmers. Second, bridging capital. This creates network trust across diverse groups like transport drivers and warehouse workers. Third, linking capital. This covers the vertical negotiations with the twilight institutions, the heavily armed checkpoints where access and survival are negotiated daily. Mismanaging these ties is fatal. In 1970, Cambodia, elites perverted these exact social foundations. They weaponized shared identity to fragment families and turn neighbors into combatants. Successfully navigating these 3 capitals creates a form of resilient commerce that outlasts the governments designed to regulate it. The quiet operator utilizes a graceful descent. They strip away formal branding to grow a root system deep beneath the visible corporate grid. This requires bending the rules, identifying local workarounds that achieve functional outcomes without making the operation a target. Pacing is critical. Assertive energy adds to the volatility of a crisis. While the corporate board pounds the drum, issuing panicked memos and reacting to every shock. The operator maintains the hum. The hum is a steady pulse. It absorbs shocks. Lowering the emotional temperature provides the psychological safety required to bypass cognitive bias and make accurate survival decisions when the situation is most fluid. Compare these two models. The corporate model relies on loud titles. It dies